Assalamu alaikum and a very pleasant morning, girls. Today we are going to see a short story. The names The Snows of Kilimanjaro by Ernest Hemingway. Okay. What is meant by Kilimanjaro, girls? Snows, you know. Kilimanjaro? Do you know? Okay, Kilimanjaro means a mountain. Okay. Which is here we fail to climb it. Okay, climb it. Is that clear? Okay. This is called Kilimanjaro. Okay, here one mountain is there and the place is located, right? Yes or no? Okay, you can see that mountain is failed to climb up. Okay. In the previous slide, we have discussed about Ernest Hemingway's introduction detailedly. Yes or no? Okay, now I have just for your understanding, I have mentioned a few points about Ernest Hemingway. Yes, he was born on 21st July 1899 and served in World War I and worked in journalism. In 1954, Hemingway won the Nobel Prize, and in the year 1961, he committed suicide. Okay, yesterday I have given you the detailed one. Okay, that is Ernest Hemingway இருக்கிறாங்க இல்லையாமா, அவங்க வந்து 21 ஜூலையில் 1899 பார்ன் ஆனாங்க அண்ட் வேர்ல்ட் வார் ஒன்ல இவங்க ஒர்க் பண்ணாங்க அண்ட் ஆஸ் அ ஜேர்னலிஸ்ட் ஹி ஒர்க் அண்ட் ஆஃப்டர் தட் in 1954 he won the நோபல் ப்ரைஸ் எதுக்காகனா இந்த ஓல்ட் மேன் அண்ட் த சீ புக்குக்காக அவங்க வந்து நோபல் ப்ரைஸ் வாங்கினாங்க. he committed suicide on 2nd July 1961. Is that clear? Okay, now we are going to see a plot, a summary of the Kilimanjaros, that is the snow of Kilimanjaros. Is that clear? Okay. The Snows of Kilimanjaro is a short story by Ernest Hemingway. It was first published in Esquire magazine in 1936 and later collected in the 5th column and the first 49 stories in the year 1938. The stream of consciousness narrative relates the feeling of Harry, a novelist dying on gangrene poisoning while on an African safari. Hemingway considered The Snows of Kilimanjaro his finest story. Okay, girls? Here is the plot. That is, starts on the African savannah where a man and a woman talk about his leg, which is rotting away from gangrene. That is, the story starts in the place of African savannah, a place, okay, where a man and a woman, maybe husband and wife, okay, talking about a woman is talking about his leg, okay, which is rotting away from gangrene. Gangrene, a poisonous insect which has infected his leg, okay, while he was doing his safari, like safari, you know, girls? Yes or no? Okay. Now the woman tries to make him believe that he will survive. As she speaks to him, his resentment of her money and her education comes out in his comments. He realizes that he has sacrificed his talent for the material pleasure offered by Helen. Here, he remembered being in World War I. As the flashback finishes, Harry returns to the present and argues with the women before falling asleep. When he wakes up, he thinks about her, why he married her, and why he does not like her. Before he slips into another flashback, he and the women have a drink together. He thinks about his time in Paris and Constantinople, where he returns to consciousness. She convinces him to drink some chicken soup and he stops thinking so harshly of her. That is, the story starts from Harry, a man, a writer, and his wife, Helen, are stranded while on safari in Africa. A bearing burn out of on their truck, and Harry is talking about the gangrene that has infected his leg when he did not apply iodine after he scratched it. Okay, that is a small insect which infected him in his leg, and he scratched it, and it has become as wound. Okay, as they wait for a rescue plane from Nairobi that he knows won't arrive on time, Harry spends his time drinking and insulting Helen, insulting his wife. Harry reviews his life, realizing that he wasted his talent through procrastination and luxury from a marriage to a wealthy woman that he doesn't love. Now, have you understood, ma? ஓகே, இந்த ஸ்டோரி எப்படி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகுதுன்னா, ஹாரி அவங்க வந்து ரைட்டரு அண்ட் ஹிஸ் ஒய்ஃப், அவங்க ஒய்ஃப் வந்து ஹெலன். ஓகே, ஒய்ஃபோட நேம் வந்து ஹெலன். போத் அவங்க வந்து சஃபாரிக்கு போயிருக்கிறாங்க. ஆஃப்ரிக்காலே சஃபாரி ஜங்கலில் போவாங்க இல்லையா, எஸ் அண்ணோ. ஓகே, பியரிங் பேர்ன்டு. அப்போ வந்து அவங்களுக்கு தே மெட் வித் அன் ஆக்சிடெண்ட் அண்ட் அங்கே வந்து அவங்களுக்கு தட் இஸ் ஹாரி இருக்கிறாங்க இல்லையா, ஹாரிங்கோட லெக் வந்து இன்ஃபெக்ட் ஆகிருக்குது. ஓகே ஓகே கேர்ள்ஸ், தென் ஸோ ஹீ இஸ் நாட் ஏபிள் டு வாக் எனிமோர் அண்ட் அவங்க வந்து ஸ்க்ராட்ச் பண்ணதுனால அது வந்து ஊண்டு பெருசாக ஆகிட்டு இருக்குது. ஓகே, அண்ட் now what they are doing, they are waiting for the rescue team members, rescue plane from Nairobi, another place. அவங்க வந்து அதுக்காக வெயிட் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க, வந்து கூப்பிட்டுட்டு போவாங்கன்னு. அது அப்போ வந்து அவங்க சொல்கிறாங்க, இட் வில் நாட் கம் ஆன் டைம்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஓகே, தென் நவ் ஆஸ் தே ஆர் வெயிட்டிங், ஹாரி இருக்கிறாங்க இல்லையா, த ரைட்டர், அவங்க வந்து ரெவ்யூஸ் இஸ் லைஃப். ரெவ்யூஸ்னால் ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக். ஓகே, ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக்கு போகிறாங்க. ஹீ இஸ் திங்கிங் அபவுட் ஹிஸ் லைஃப், ரியலைசிங் தட் he has wasted his talent through procrastination and luxury from a marriage to a wealthy woman that he doesn't love. Now இவங்க ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக்கில் என்ன ரியலைஸ் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா, நான் வந்து என்னோடய லைஃபே வேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன் லக்ஸரிக்காக, வெல்த்துக்காக. இப்போ எல்லாம் இப்போ கேர்ளுக்கு மேரேஜ் பண்ணால் அவங்க கூட நாங்கள் டவுரி எல்லாமே கொடுக்குறாங்க இல்லையா, அதுக்கு பார்த்துட்டு நான் வந்து என்னோடய லைஃபே வேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டேன். நான் அந்த விமென்க்கு லவ்வே பண்ணல, ஆனால் பிகாஸ் ஆஃப் த வெல்த் ஐ ஹவ் வேஸ்டட் மை லைஃப்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. இஸ் தட் கிளியர்மா? புரிஞ்சிச்சாமா? ஓகே, தென் he is in the forest living in a cabin and then remembers being in Paris. He realizes that he never took the time to write about many things that he wanted to write about. His flashbacks bring him to the real world as he asks the women to explain why he never wrote the stories he wanted to write. He thinks about why he feels such contempt for the wealthy, a group of which this woman belongs. He thinks again about the war, this time about a man he saw die, before walking from his flashback and talking more with his wife. He begins to see death personified. It is then morning again, and the pilot captain has arrived to take him to the city and to the doctor. Harry gets in the plane and the pilot flies him rightly to the peak of mountain Kilimanjaro, and Harry knew that there was where he was going. Okay, in this series, in a series of flashbacks, Harry recalls the mountains of Bulgaria and Constantinople, as well as the suddenly hollow, sick feeling of being alone in Paris. Later, there were Turks and an American poet talking nonsense about the Dada movement, and headaches and quarrels, and watching people whom he would later write about. Uneasily, he recalls a boy who had been frozen, his body half eaten by dogs, and a wounded officer so entangled in a wire fence that his bowels spilled over it. As Harry lies on his cot, he is aware that vultures are walking around his makeshift camp, and a hyena lurks in the shadows. Knowing that he will die before he wakes, Harry goes to sleep and dreams that the rescue plane is taking him to a snow-covered summit of Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. Its western summit is called the Nagaji Nagi, the house of God, where he sees the legendary leopard. That is, in the series of flashback, that is, he is going to the past and the coming to the present. Okay, past and the present. Is that clear, ma? Okay, in this series, what he recalls. Okay, that is in the flashback, in the past, he recalls about the mountain of Bulgaria, Constantinople, and many more things. Okay, he thinks about, and he recalls about a boy who had frozen. Okay, that is, his body was fully frozen and half eaten by the dogs, and he is saying one more body has a wounded officer who is entangled in the fence. Okay, and now what he thinks that as Harry, as that person, the man, if he lies in the cot, the bed. Okay, if he sleeps in the bed, he knows that the vultures and the hyenas are looking for him to eat. Okay, and they know that he will die very quickly. Is that clear? Now, as he sleeps, he in his dream he sees that the rescue plane has come, and he is going to the and he is going, okay, and taking him to a snow-covered summit of Kilimanjaro. Now, in his dream, he sees the highest mountain of Africa. Okay, that is the house of God, where he sees the legendary leopard. Is that clear, ma? Have you understood? Okay, இதில் என்ன சொல்கிறாங்கன்னா, அவங்க வந்து லக்ஸரிக்காக அவங்க லைஃபே வேஸ்ட் பண்ணிட்டாங்கன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. அதுக்கப்புறமா கூட இதே மாதிரி அவங்க பாஸ்ட் ப்ரெசென்ட் அப்படியே போயிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. ஓகே, இஸ் ரியலைசிங் தட் அண்ட் கோயிங் டு ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக் அண்ட் கம்மிங் டு த ப்ரெசென்ட்னு சொல்கிறாங்க, யோசிச்சுட்டே இருக்கிறாங்க. அப்போ வந்து அவங்க என்ன யோசிக்கிறாங்கன்னா, இந்த ஃப்ளாஷ்பேக்கில் அவங்க ரீகால் பண்ணுறாங்க. யார்? ஹாரி, இந்த மேன். ஓகே, அவங்க பல்கேரியா வேறு வேறு மவுண்டன்ஸ்க்கு எல்லாம் போனது, அது எல்லாம் ரீகால் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஓகே, அந்த ரீகால்க்கு அப்புறமா அவங்க என்ன பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா, அண்ட் இந்த பாரிஸில் அவங்க சிக்கானது, அலோனாக இருந்து, அது எல்லாம் ரீகால் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஓகே, okay, then he recalls a boy who had been frozen, his body half eaten by dogs. That is, அவங்க வந்து ஒரு பாய்க்கு ஃப்ரோசனாக பார்க்குறாங்க. அந்த பாயோட ஹாஃப் பாடி வந்து டாக் வந்து ஈட் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. ஓகே, ஹாஃப் பாடி தான் இருக்குது, அது கூட ஃப்ரோசன் ஆகிட்டு இருக்குது இந்த மாதிரி. அண்ட் ஒன் மோர் திங் ஹீ ரீகாலிங் தட் wounded ஆஃபீஸர், அவங்க வந்து ஃபென்ஸில் அப்படியே ஹேங் ஆகிருக்கிறாங்க. இஸ் இட் கிளியர்? அது எல்லாம் அவங்க ரீகால் பண்ணுறாங்க. Now coming back to the present, Harry lies on his cot. காட்னா பெட்டுமா, அந்த பெட்டில் அவங்க என்ன யோசிக்கிறாங்கன்னா, if I sleep, I know the vultures and the hyenas are waiting for me to eat. Okay, they know that I will die soon. Okay, is that clear? So what he and he thinks that, and he sleeps. Okay, in that time அவங்களோட ட்ரீமில் வந்து ரெஸ்கியூ பிளேன் அரைவ் ஆனது அது, அண்ட் இவங்க வந்து அந்த பிளேன்லேயே உட்காந்து போயிட்டு இருக்கிறாங்க. அண்ட் as the plane moves, he sees the snow-covered summit of Kilimanjaro, the highest mountain in Africa. அந்த ட்ரீமில் அந்த பிளேனில் உட்காந்துட்டவங்க அந்த இது வந்து ஹையஸ்ட் மவுண்டன் ஆஃப் ஆஃப்ரிக்கா பார்க்குறாங்க. என்ன அது? த கிளிமஞ்சாரோ பார்க்குறாங்க. த ஹவுஸ் ஆஃப் காட்னு சொல்கிறாங்க அதுக்கு. ஓகே, வேர் ஹீ சீஸ், அந்த ஹவுஸ் ஆஃப் காட்லே அவங்க என்ன பார்க்குறாங்கன்னா லெஜெண்டரி லெப்பர்ட் பார்க்குறாங்க. லெப்பர்ட்னா கேர்ள்ஸ். ஓகே, இஸ் இட் கிளியர்மா? ஓகே, got it girls? Can you get my points? Okay. Then we have, he thinks again about the war, this time about a man he saw die before, walking from his flashback and talking more with the wife. He begins to see death personified. It is then morning again, and the pilot contempt has arrived to make him to the city and to doctor. Harry gets in the plane, and the pilot flies him right by the peak of mountain Kilimanjaro, and Harry knew that there was where he was going. Then here the picture has shown girls, you can see that the hyena is standing and the wound in his leg. Okay, the woman wakes up because the hyena that has been making noise for hours stopped whimpering and has begun making another sound. As she looks over at Harry, she realizes that he has died. And that is, Helen wakes and taking a flashlight walks towards Harry's cot, seeing that his leg is dangling alongside. The cot and the dressing are pulled down. She calls his name repeatedly. She listens for his breathing and can hear nothing. Outside the tent, the hyena whines, a cry that is strangely human. That is, at the last what happens, Helen comes by taking a flashlight and towards the Harry's cot, and that Harry's leg was dangling, and Helen repeatedly calls him as Harry, wake up, like that. Okay, but no response from Harry. So she is listening the breathing of Harry, but she is not able to hear anything. And now outside the tent, the hyena whines. The hyena is making a strange sound. Okay, that is a cry, strangely cry of a human. Is that clear, ma? That is, Harry has died. Is that clear? ஓகே, இது என்ன லாஸ்ட் என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா, ஹெலன் வந்து ஃப்ளாஷ் லைட் எடுத்துகிட்டு வெளியே வந்து ஹேரியோட காட்க்கு பார்க்குறாங்க. அங்கே பார்த்தா அவங்களோட லெக் வந்து லூஸ்லி ஹேங்கிங். அப்போது வந்து அவங்க புல் பண்ணுறாங்க, ஹேரி வேக்கப் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. ஆனால் நோ ரெஸ்பான்ஸ். அதுக்கப்புறமா வந்து அவங்க மூச்சு எடுக்கிறாங்களான்னு பார்க்குறாங்க. ஸோ நவ் அவங்க என்ன ரியலைஸ் பண்ணுறாங்கன்னா, ஹேரி வந்து செத்துட்டாருன்னு ரியலைஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஓகே, and after the tent, outside the tent, டென்க்கு வெளியே வந்து ஹைனா வந்து க்ரை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குது as a strangely voiceல. Okay, is that clear, ma? Do you understand what the plot is about, what the story is about? Okay, then the main aspects and the characters. Campton flies the plan that is meant to take Harry back to the city to save his life. However, he exists only in Harry's dream. Campton, a character, நான் சொன்னேன் இல்லையாமா, அவங்க வந்து plane pilot who is taking Harry back to the city to save his life. But அந்த கேம்டன் கேரக்டர் வந்து ஹாரியோட ட்ரீமில் தான் இருக்கிறாங்க. Harry is the protagonist. Protagonist, you know, the central character of the play, of the story. He is a writer and has had many experiences in Europe. Okay, he is a writer and had many experiences in Europe. Molo is a minor character, is the African servant who serves Harry and Helen. Molo அவங்க வந்து ஆஃப்ரிக்காவில் ஸ்டே பண்ணும்போது servant who serves Harry and Helen. Okay, then Helen is a major character. She is Harry's wife. She remains unnamed until the end of the story, when a delirious Harry refers to her by her name as he dies. Okay, then approach, that is the death. Okay, he realizes that before the death itself, man's spirit can triumph despite death. Same deeds during Harry's life makes this possible, like this giving away his last morphine pills that he saved for himself to his friend Williamson. This act shows that he was trying to redeem himself, doing something that maybe he would be remembered, triumphing this way his spirit. It is important to note that here there were 3 deeds throughout Harry's life that facilitate his otherworldly trip to Kilimanjaro at the time of his death. Giving away his last morphine pills that he saved for himself to his friend Williamson, who is in horrendous pain. Okay, Harry's intentions to write the mental writing of the flashback in his painful stupor, sacrificing himself to his wife as opposed to absolving himself. Okay, during his otherworldly flight over Kilimanjaro, Harry sees the legendary leopard. The dead preserved leopard can be seen as a symbol of immortality, a reward for taking the difficult road. Harry himself was a leopard at certain times in his life, as were some of his acquaintance in his own stories. Specifically, Harry can be seen as a leopard during his youth, when he lived in a poor neighborhood of Paris as a writer. In the war, when he gave up his last morphine pills for himself to the horrible suffering Williamson, on his deathbed, when he mentally composes flashbacks and uses his intention to write, when he stays loyal to his wife and does not confess to her that he never really loved her. Some mystic impulse within Harry and within the leopard drove them to seek out God, or the God within themselves, or immortality that receded from ugly, mundane reality. That is, here Harry is compared to leopard. Okay. Here the picture is there. Okay. Close to the western summit, there is the dried and frozen carcass of a leopard. No one has explained what the leopard was seeking at that altitude. that is close to this in the frozen carcass, that is the dead body of an animal. Okay, that is a leopard's dead body is frozen. No one has explained what the leopard was seeking at that altitude. Is it clear? Yeah, it is that leopard is compared to hairy. Okay, hairy is compared to leopard. Is that clear, ma? Okay. There is symbolism in Kilimanjaro. There is symbols. What are all the symbols he has used? That is the snow first and foremost thing is the snow. Snow is unexpected in the warm climate of Africa. Its presence on the top of Mount Kilimanjaro has an unspoiled otherworldly feeling. Thus, the snow seems to hold a redemptive promise for Harry as it lies unbelievably white in the sun. Then, the mountain top. A journey to the top of Mountain Kilimanjaro symbolizes that the search for deeper meaning in life and for redemption. Harris imagined ascension to the top of the mountain comes after he has spent significant time regretting not making the effort to fully document his life and reflecting on a few redemptive actions such as his provision of pain relief to the dying Williamson. Okay. The plane flight gives Harry an opportunity for a grand wide view of Africa, like the broad view he has taken of his life. He can finally have not all I want, but all there is. Is it clear? And the third symbol is leopard. Leopard I mentioned, no girls? Yes or no? Okay, the leopard mentioned in the epigraph is primarily a symbol of immortality, that is forever. Although it is also represents strength and courage. The leopard has attempted to overcome difficult situation to attain its goal, climbing to great elevations. Okay. In his final movement, Harry believes that he is achieving the leopard's higher plane of existence or redemption as Captain flies him toward the square of top of Mountain Kilimanjaro. Is it clear? Harry's corpse continues disintegrating on the plain below. The next symbol is hyena. Okay, when Harry dies, the hyena makes a strange human, almost crying sound. Okay, strange sound. Is it clear? Signaling that the final futility of Harry's dream. The hyena's crying is another instance of mystery in nature. Then the vultures. Okay, vultures, you know, girls? Yes or no? Vultures in the snows of Kilimanjaro symbolizes Harry's impending death, where the hyena that hunts Harry and Helen's camp is at first seen only as darkness descends. Okay, the vultures are far bolder. When night falls, the birds roost in their tree that shades the camp, returning to their wiggle in the morning. Is it clear, ma? Have you understood? Okay. Then the conclusion. The snows of Kilimanjaro provide us a reflection. It was easier for Harry to blame the environment, his wife, and his money and her money for his unsuccessfulness rather than try to correct his mistakes and prevented his life. Only in the end of his life he realizes that what he could have done in his life, but he does not have time anymore to do it. Now it provides a reflection, that is the reminiscence, the recollection of past and the present. Is that clear? Okay, he blames, that is Harry blames the environment, his life, sorry, his wife and everyone. Okay, but at the end, at the last moment, he realizes that, oh, I have done the good things, but now I'm not having time anymore to do it. Is it clear? Okay. Okay, girls. By this, the end of the short story. If you have any doubts, please comment in the comment box, girls. Surely, I will clarify your doubts. Okay. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye. Allah Hafiz.